This is hopefully a demo where I show how ChatGPT can be used to solve a coding problem. The problem that I've selected is pretty limited in scope. Thought it'd be good for a little demo here. Um, let's see. The Rabble dependency tool, RabbleBrat, blast radius assessment tool that I built and has been iterated on since. It doesn't support Haml templates. And this, like felt like I was close, and I ended up releasing this without getting that functionality. And I don't know, it seems like a good small problem that could be addressed here pretty quickly. So essentially what I want to do here, I want normalized Rabble path where we pass in kind of the string from a Rabble template, and it uses the Rabble engine here to fetch the source. It wasn't obvious by using Google and Stack Overflow several weeks ago when I was working on this, how to do this with Haml or Haml engine. It doesn't have the same function. So I'd like to see how ChatGPT does with this. Analyzing a Haml file, I want to pass any template reference strings into a method and get back the fully qualified path to the reference template. Write a function that does this. Generate in Ruby instead. Okay. Get template path, template reference, great. Look at that, it's got a comment. I mean, this is awesome. File join, app views, template reference. Okay, interesting. So it is just sort of appending HTML Haml to the end. Well, you know, I could have done that. Let's see if, because with Rabble template references, they might have different variations. This approach wouldn't have worked there. So let's see. Do Haml references always match the file path without extension exactly? I'm not so sure they do. No, do not always match the file path. Good. Okay, so can vary depending on framework. So we're getting a lot of background info that's like not, I mean, I suppose it's fine for demo, but I wish it could just spit it out quicker so I can ask my next question. I don't really need all the details here. Okay, can you write the function but use the Haml engine or similar resource to account for possible variations in template reference? Get template path, initialize new Haml engine object. I mean, it might just be doing what I told it to do. There's no guarantee that this actually works. Template for path, that template for path, return template path. Well, let's just see how this works. Function uses Haml engine. All right, I'm just gonna, let's see. Let's pull up Rails console. I just want to test this line by line a little bit. Here's a good reference. I know that partial, they use a colon, not a file. Partial colon header Haml. Okay, so let's see what happens with this example. Let's see what happens. I think we need to do this. Let's see what happens when I do this. Yep, wrong number of arguments. Okay, so let's just see. Let's see how ChatGPT adapts. Haml engine new fails with error. The error message appears without any arguments. Instead of creating new instances of the Haml engine, you use the Haml engine template for path. Okay, interesting. So I guess maybe it's a class method. I mean, I think this is a fair demonstration of the fact that ChatGPT doesn't really know what it's saying. And if it works, it's kind of like incidental. But let's just see what happens when we put this in. Undefined method template for path. Uh-huh. All right, let's see what ChatGPT says with that. I apologize for the confusion. I bet you do. It's not a method. One way to achieve this by using a template renderer like Rails action view, which will allow you to use the views path attribute to find the path of the Haml file and use the path of blah, 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 blah. Rails root join method to find the path of the Haml file and then use that path to render the file. I'm not trying to render the file. Okay. Rails root join, map views, template reference, user's index. So this doesn't seem to use the action view like it said. Where is that bit? Rails action view. This doesn't use Rails action view to account for Haml reference variation. You are correct. Does not account. Yep, thank you. I've used folder. Use Rails action view to account for variation. Haml use action view lookup context class to find the path of the Haml file based on the provided template reference. So let's see what we get. Lookup context, new action base views path, lookup context, find template reference, true return path. So hopefully we're getting closer. Okay, enough. There's always this extra like, it is important to note, blah, blah, blah. Does that line work? It did something, cool. I want to make this quick, so let's just see if the next line works. We need to get this path in there. Look at that. I think we have an answer. Cool. So the real test for this is going to be implementing this function and then like actually running it on like every single Haml reference in our code base. And I'm not going to include that in this video, but as you can see, it's given us code that seems at first blush to actually work. So you kind of have to, keep at it and give feedback to the language model here. But this just went a lot faster. I mean, I spent way more time than this failing to do this a couple weeks ago without ChatGPT. So I hope you're amazed as I am. Thanks for watching.